it's true, I'm not good at a one-night stand. But I'm still in love, cause I'm just a girl. These nights never seem to go to waste. Oh, I don't want you to leave, won't you hold my hand? So won't you stay with me? Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. Oh, darling, stay with me. See, why am I so emotional? I know it's not a good look, it's some self-control. Deep down I know this never works, but you can lay with me so it doesn't hurt. Boy, won't you stay with me? Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. But darling, stay with me. Oh,
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving across the bed. Suddenly the day turns into night, so far away from the city. So don't hesitate, cause your love just won't wait. Yeah, yeah. And ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna tell you I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna be with you night and day. Oh, baby, the moon appears to shine and light the sky with the help of some firefly. You see, I wonder how they have the power to shine, shine, shine. I can see them under the fight. So don't hesitate, cause your love just won't wait. Yeah, yeah. And ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna tell you I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. that light the sky with the help of some firefly. And then I wonder how they have the butt to shine, 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 'cause I can see them under the pine. So don't, oh, don't hesitate, 'cause your love just won't wait, just won't wait. And ooh, baby, I love you, babe, every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna tell you I love you, babe, every day. Yeah, yeah. And I wanna be with you night and every other day. Ooh, baby, I love you, babe, every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna tell you I love you, babe, every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna be with you night and every other day. Ooh, baby, I love you, babe. You got your own style. Let me see. She wants to be like the people on TV. She wants to look like the girls in the magazines. She got big dreams to see herself on a big screen. She asks, do you love me? I say, just right, absolutely, I love you just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing, ooh, just the way you are, girl. If you put on a corner, if you take up a bun, ooh, just the way you are, girl. You wake up with no makeup, with no breakup, just the way you are, girl. In my eyes, you're a star, girl. Hey, she fit me, and she give you love plenty, ooh, she authentic. This are the real thing, this are no plastic. See, I got big plans. Are you be my wife and I'm your husband? She said, what is it you like about me? Me say, woman, you have to change nothing. I love you just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing, ooh, just the way you are, girl. If you put on a bonnet, if you take off a bonnet, yeah, just the way you are, girl. You wake up with no makeup, with no breakup, just the way you are, girl. In my eyes, you're a star. Hey. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Star girl, star girl. Me say, well, she did me, and then she give me love plenty, yeah, you didn't think, this are the real thing, this are no plastic, see, I've got big plans, for you to be my wife and your husband. She said, what is it you like about me? Woman, you love it, nothing, I love you just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing, ooh, just the way you are, girl. If you put on a bonnet, if you take off a bun, ooh, just the way you are, girl. You wake up with no makeup, with no breakup, just the way you are, girl. In my eyes, you're a star. I love you just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing, ooh, just the way you are, girl. If you put on a bonnet, if you take off a bun, ooh, just the way you are, girl. You wake up with no makeup, with no breakup, just the way you are, girl. I love you just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing, ooh, just the way you are, girl. If you put on a bonnet, if you take off a bun, ooh, just the way you are, girl. You wake up with no breakup, with no breakup, just the way you are, girl. In my eyes, you're a star, girl. Ooh, 'cause you it on style. Bit of love in the air.
But if you can, spare a round of applause for Michael Ouma, celebrated Michael Ouma and friends. Thank you so much. You kept us company, you guided us very well, and you made our meal palatable, and we thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having a good time with us tonight. We are here for the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards 2018, and we're happy and we're proud that this is happening here for the very first time. I would like us all to move forward. And through awards of this nature, especially being the first time it is happening here, we normally question what the process was. It's a whole journey from calling for applications, listing the criteria, soliciting responses, and the like. And when we receive the responses, grading them and putting them in various categories and making sure that every single nominee fits the criteria and the category for which they have applied. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we also had together a competent team of judges, which would now like to invite Ms. Christine Choineka-Woye, the CEO of Institute of Corporate Governance Uganda, to guide us with and to invite one of the judges, the chairperson actually, who will guide us through the process that led to this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warmly welcome back Ms. Choineka.
Thank you, Val. Our guest this evening, I hope you have enjoyed the dinner served by the Serena. We have lost some time, but nevertheless we are going to catch up. As you have been informed, I would like to introduce our judges. I'll begin with the lead judge, who is just coming up now, Ms. Keto Kayemba. Please join me.
Ms. Keto Kayemba is Assistant Auditor General, Chairperson of the panel of judges. She's a Chartered Accountant, a Certified Information Systems Auditor. She's been involved in audits of various government establishments.
Thank you. In addition to that, Ms. Keto Kayemba is a Rotarian. Ms. Keto Kayemba subscribes to the four-way test, and I'm happy to introduce one of my own. Ms. Keto Kayemba, you're welcome. We have chosen a panel of accomplished judges, gurus in corporate governance, and as per the introductions, you will testify that they have done a good job. The caliber of people we have here around us will testify and will affirm that corporate governance is a subject that has to be tested for now. So we thank you very much, Ms. Keto Kayemba, for that. You're welcome to introduce the judges. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kristen. I'm more than honored to be here today. I think I'll start with protocol. The Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament in absentia, Your Excellencies, the President of ICGU, the High Commissioners and Ambassadors present, Honourable Ministers, Members of Parliament, the Governor Bank of Uganda Chief Executives, our keynote speaker, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. On behalf of the judges panel and on my behalf, we wish to thank the Institute of Corporate Governance of Uganda for having selected us as judges for the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards. It's amazing. And on that note, I would like to introduce the judges. And I'd like to start with Mr. Amin Mauji, the Most Excellent Order of British Empire, OBE. Mr. Amin, please join me on the table. Join me on the podium. Amin is a former senior partner of Ernst & Young. He has held a number of positions, including being head of its Africa Trade Routes team in London. And he was a global head of the firm's Aerospace and Defense Industries Group. He's currently the representative of Aga Khan Development Foundation in Uganda. We are very, very privileged to have him with us as part of the judges. I would like to have Mr. Francis Gimara, please, another judge. Francis is a former president of Law Society. Who doesn't know about the Law Society and the contributions that the Law Society has made to Uganda? This is the gentleman, and we drew a lot of experience from him, wide lot of experience to enable us take the decisions and do the evaluations that we had to do. He is a partner in Acadia Advocates, and he's an advocate of the High Court and of all courts. Thirdly, we have Miss Miriam Magala. We are very gender sensitive, ladies and gentlemen. And we are diverse. She is dynamic, vibrant, upright, bright, young, full of innovation and energy. She is a lawyer by profession, and she is the CEO of Uganda Insurers Association. And fourthly, we had CPA Protasio Begumisa, PhD. He's the president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, and he's also the Commissioner of Internal Audit in Uganda Revenue Authority. Unfortunately, he was not able to be with us here. And lastly, we had Mr. Jim Mugunga, who is a public-private partnership expert and an advocacy expert with a wide range of experience. He's a member of various boards, and we got a lot from him. He's a public relations officer in charge of the public relations office in the privatization agency. So that is us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me, judges. Ladies and gentlemen, the Corporate Governance Awards, the first of their kind in Uganda, is a great innovation by the Institute. We see these awards as a hallmark in corporate governance in Uganda and the region at large. Good governance is not a preserve for a selected few. It applies to all organizations, regardless of size, industry, and ownership. It's like food to human beings. Good feeding makes people healthy and beautiful. They attract. When you have good governance, then you have trust. So you attract public confidence. You get what you want. You get it moving. Good governance makes organizations successful in a sustainable manner. It provides a strong foundation for organizational growth of any size in any sector of the economy. A total of 248 companies initiated online applications. A number, however, didn't complete them. That was one of the key reasons. And one of the key reasons for this was lack of information for what we asked. A total of 48 entries were recorded as complete. 2 of the complete entries were duplicate, and after completion of application, 2 companies withdrew their application. So in total, we had 44 companies that met all the requirements for the awards. An independent team of consultants visited each of these companies for on-site verification of information submitted via the online nomination platform. And on this note, I would like to thank Summit Consultants. I don't know where they are. They gave us a wide range of information, massive spreadsheets. I'm telling you, we have worked massive information that they collected for us to look at. We shared this information and scored. The scores were analyzed, and the nominee with the highest average score in their respective category was named winner and runner-up in that order. We do recognize that some judges have business relationships with some companies that were nominated. But members, we are talking about corporate governance here. Conflict of interest was something that we looked at in detail. And before you here are people of excellent ethical values. So where a judge had interest in a category, he did not score in that category. He did not score all in that category, and we took that very seriously. Transparency, participation, and accountability, as stated by Professor. I want to congratulate all the leaders in the 44 companies that met all the requirements of these awards. Whether you win or not, you have demonstrated your commitment to the highest standard of governance. It's allowing yourself to be scrutinized, to be there, to be put under the microscope. Then you're ready to spring up because you know the values of corporate governance. It is on this background that all the 44 companies will receive a certificate of participation in the awards. In the words of Joe Biden, fighting corruption is not just good governance. It is self-defense. It is patriotism. He is right. As independent judges, we analyzed the information summaries and scored each company on 4 critical areas: corporate governance, processes, and effectiveness. That's 1. The governance processes, quality of documentation and implementation, key governance structures and systems to support and sustain the business model for sustainable operations, including evidence of key tools like corporate strategy and its implementation, capabilities and support structures like board of directors for business allocation, for business direction. Corporate social investment, number 2. How the business model is aligned to social investment and impact. For social investment, how the business model is aligned to social investment and impact for community transformation. 3, corporate reporting and transparency, the quality of disclosures and reporting detail. We were cognizant that private businesses have no requirement for public reporting in our analysis. And lastly, financial performance, to examine the impact of applying governance systems and procedures on revenue, profits, and stakeholder growth. The aim of the awards is to, 1, establish benchmarks of corporate governance practices in Uganda, and 2, establish more organizations, encourage more organizations to refer to those benchmarks and improve their own governance practices and standards. The judges and validators made the following observations. Please listen to them, the 44 companies, so that you can get on. There is need to enhance the transparency of the process and criteria for selection and appointment of board members. Only 1 NGO of all the organizations reviewed has ever advertised for vacant board positions in the national papers, thereby attracting diverse and knowledgeable members and composing a multidimensional board. Many boards have very few women on the table. Members, we are available. Members, I've said it at the right time, when the right honorable speaker is just walking in. There are few women. Board diversity in terms of gender balance is critical because we bring flavor into the boardroom. The management of the business of the board needs significant improvement. Whereas all organizations reviewed had minutes of board meetings, the boarding meeting agenda for most companies lacked conflict of interest declaration and did not give a lot of emphasis for futuristic thinking and creation of value, looking at figures and the changing situations and bringing in results that can improve growth in our countries, in the entities. 3, organizations that got higher scores generally have elaborate annual reports in which the governance disclosures, business model, strategic focus, risk management practices, and CSR activities are properly explained. Some companies, especially banks and all listed companies, have mature governance practices with a clear board induction program, board charter that is practical, and IT systems to facilitate effective management of board affairs. 4, whereas many organizations have anti-fraud and whistleblowing policies and procedures, there is little evidence of effective implementation of the same to meet the minimum recommendations of the Whistleblowers Protection. Please note that, Protection Act 2010. And 5, lastly, there is a strong correlation between good governance and transparency. Unfortunately, many organizations are not transparent in terms of directors' remuneration, board member attendance, board committees composition, and major compliance challenges in relation to reporting. So sufficient information couldn't come up for the board members to evaluate, and therefore you lost out because of that. I take this opportunity on behalf of the judges to congratulate all nominees and winners who will take the honors tonight. I also congratulate the Institute of Corporate Governance of Uganda for celebrating excellence in corporate governance by introducing these awards, and to Grant Thornton, the Institute sponsors and partners for their time and money to make this happen, and finally to Summit Consultants. And to the judges, we are now friends. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Ms. Keto Kayemba, who is the Assistant Auditor General, Chairperson of the panel of judges. A round of applause for all our judges of the evening. Right now, we've been notified that the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda has graced us with her presence. Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please rise for the Uganda National Anthem?
Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand. Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom, love and leather we'll give, and with neighbors all on our country's calling, peace and friendship we live. Uganda, the land that feeds us, butter and fertile soils grow. Dear land, we'll always stand. The heart of Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Well, I guess we can have our seats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and a round of applause to our judges. Without them, this night would not be possible. We're here to recognize the different organizations and entities that have upheld the corporate governance best practices.
And ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for is finally here.
Finally. Are we ready to award our the corporate governance? By the way, tonight, you need to understand that there were some requirements before you could be a part of the nominees. Isn't that right? part of tax, you have to be tax operative in terms of your corporate governance. There's so many things, but one that stood out for me was the one about the minutes. And I know very many companies lost out on having been asked for minutes from 2 years ago for their board of directors meetings. Well, salute to all the company secretaries present. You did a good job. You need a pay rise.
So we should celebrate the company secretaries as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the first award
of the night is going over to companies that have had a turnover that exceeded the 100 billion Ugandan shillings and are not government controlled.
This award celebrates and awards the large private sector enterprises. And out of the many entries that we received, we came up with 5 nominees. The nominees for the large private sector are Abacus Pharma Limited, Kakira Sugar Limited, Chiboko Enterprises Limited, MacLeod Russell Uganda Limited, and finally Steel and Tube Industries Limited.
Well, out of the 5, 3 then made it to the top 3. Could we find out who the top 3 were? Would like to congratulate the 5 companies that were nominated: Abacus Pharma Limited, Kakira Sugar Limited, Chiboko Enterprises Limited, MacLeod Russell Uganda Limited. Congratulations to each and every single one of these companies. Now, to welcome to the stage, to hand over the awards for runners-up and for winner. For the runners-up, it will be given by the Honorable MP of the Dokolo Woman MP, Honorable Cecilia Atim Ogwal, also famously known as the Iron Lady. Looking absolutely beautiful. And in case you didn't get the memo, red means power. That's what we're wearing tonight. You look beautiful.
Sealed the Corporate Governance Award 2018 Large Private Sector Runner-up.
Now you know it's serious.
The Corporate Governance Award Large Private Sector runner-up is McLeon Russell Uganda Limited.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Could the team from McLeod please come onto the stage to receive their accolade? There we go. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
On the track.
A highly prestigious award going to McLeod Russell Uganda Limited. Thank you so much, Honorable.
And I'm sure we're wondering who the winner for this particular category was for the large private sector enterprises. To present the award for the winner in this category, ladies and gentlemen, representing the Governor of Bank of Uganda, Mr. Emmanuel Tumusime Mutebile, who couldn't be with us here tonight, but sent an able representative in Miss Susan Kanyemiwa, who's the Secretary of Bank of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome her here.
Thank you very much. The winner of the large private sector, let me open. The large private sector winner is Kachira Sugar Limited.
Congratulations, Kakira Sugar Limited. Years and years of providing us with one of the essentials in every single home that you and I have enjoyed every single morning. Sugar and more. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to the companies tonight. We're moving on to a next award, and in case you are still part of it. We have a couple of awards to go, so don't feel, downtrodden. As long as you were nominated, you're a winner. Isn't it true? I mean, that means you have excellent corporate governance in your organization. Well, moving on right now to our next award, which is the SMEs, and these companies are privately or publicly owned and had a turnover less than 100 billion Ugandan shillings. The nominees are
Excel Construction Limited. Round of applause. Joint Medical Stores. New Vision Printing and Publishing Company Limited. The New Forest Company Limited. And rounding off the top 5, TPS Uganda Limited.
And out of the top 5, we have a top 3. Who are these? Couldn't have said it any better. And now, to award the runner-up for the SMEs tonight, please help me welcome Mr. Kamar Shah, the managing partner of Grant Thornton, Nairobi.
Properly sealed. Small and medium enterprises runner-up award goes to Tourism Promotion Services, TPS, Serena Hotels.
Congratulations to TPS Serena Hotels, also hosting us tonight. So thank you. I think this is also a good way to say thank you, isn't it?
You've enjoyed their meals, their hospitality firsthand. Today is probably one of the numerous times that you've visited Kampala Serena Hotels, either here or at their resort in Chigo. But everywhere you've experienced the hospitality which is top-notch. And as runners-up, definitely for SMEs, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, to award the winner for the top SME, allow me to invite Ms. Christine Cheyuneka-Woya. She's the CEO of the Institute of Corporate Governance, Uganda.
Kristen, we're about to ask you to co-host with us.
And I'll gladly do that. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Small and medium enterprises, very dear to my heart, and I believe that is why I was chosen to give out this award. The Corporate Governance Awards for the Small and Medium Enterprises winner, this goes to none other than New Vision Printing and Publishing Corporation. Congratulations. Wow.
Welcoming the team from the New Vision.
Uganda's leading daily. Congratulations to you.
Uganda's leading daily, congratulations. Okay. It gets more exciting. We now turn to the non-governmental organizations, NGOs. For the exceptional work they do in our communities, we'll recognize them tonight. And the top 5 nominees for the top NGOs in this category are
Compassion International Uganda, TASO, the AIDS Support Organization, TPO Uganda, UHMG Uganda Health Marketing Group, UPMB Uganda Protestant Medical Bureau.
and the top 3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to the stage to give out the award for tonight for the corporate governance NGOs company, Mr. Eunice Musoke, the senior manager at Grant Thornton, Uganda, who are the proud sponsors of the night.
It's Mr. Laws on the beat.
Non-government organization run-up is Uganda Health Marketing Group.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Uganda Health Marketing Group. There they are, very happy and healthy, coming all smiles to the stage to receive the award. A round of applause for them.
And we say, Nera, Nera, Nera.
Nera, nera, nera. Accountability, transparency, practice, responsibility, corporate governance.
Congratulations, UHMG. Keep doing what you do best. Nera, 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 like they said in the video. Ladies and gentlemen, to award the top NGO in this category, the winner, we were expecting Alhaji Kaduna be the CEO of Insurance Regulatory Authority, but tonight he's ably represented by Mrs. Florence Mviri Kauma, who's the Director, Finance Insurance Regulatory Authority. You're welcome.
Non-governmental organizations winner. The winner is Uganda Protestant Medical Bureau.
UPMB, congratulations, there they come.
Tonight we recognize organizations with outstanding achievements in governance, risk and compliance fields in Uganda. The next award and category that we are going to All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we would like to invite Ms. Christine Kawoya, the CEO of the Institute Corporate Governance Uganda, to invite Mr. Anil Patel, the Managing Partner of Grant Thornton, Uganda.
Mr. Anil Patel is a Managing Partner of Grant Thornton, Uganda, which is an independent assurance, tax and advisory firm. He has extensive experience of over 20 years practicing tax and advisory, and he is the key player in ensuring Grant Thornton Uganda consolidates CSR
into their strategy.
Thank you, Val. In addition to that, Mr. Anil Patel is passionate about corporate governance. He joined the Institute of Corporate Governance in the year 2017, and within that short time, he identified different needs that the Institute required, and selflessly, he said, I'll sponsor one of the strategic objectives, which was to recognize and reward organizations that excel in corporate governance. With Mr. Neil, we have worked, and this has been a journey. As the chair of the organizing committee, I've had Mr. Neil side by side, helping, advising, and like I said, he opened a check. It was an open check for us to spend, and I believe you have witnessed that with what has been served this evening. Mr. Neil, we thank you for your passion to promote corporate governance and also to grow different businesses in Uganda with your advisory services. You are selfless. Thank you very much. I'm about to invite you to join Rotary because that's where we find selfless people. Thank you so much, Mr. Anil. You're welcome.
Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, Your Excellencies and Ambassadors present, Honorable Members of Parliament present, the President of ICGU, all protocol observed. I was just been introduced and said that I am a key player. Normally, key players play a game, but here I am here to hold the game of winning, the winners. But this is just a halt, it is not stopped. So the rest of the winners will be announced soon after my shortest speech. This is 1/3 of my original speech that I first wrote. So you must be happy about it. Right Honorable Speaker, our relationship began with ICGU in 2014 when I was introduced by the late Sam Owori, the then CEO of ICGU, to the Finance Committee of the Institute, and later in 2016 to the Council members. Today, because of the passion that we have for the corporate governance, I'm very happy to say that this relationship has turned into partnership, and hopefully this partnership will continue to the rest of the East African countries as well. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone wants to grow and prosper their business in shortest possible time. But in so doing, often shortcuts are being practiced, while forgetting the fact that the sustainable corporate governance, sustainable business can only be achieved by practicing good governance principles. And the good governance, when I was reading one of the journal of Grant Thornton, it begins with the alignment of the interest of an individual, of the organization, and the society. I further read that an organization without a system of corporate governance is often regarded as body without soul. And therefore, at Grant Thornton, we act as an instrument of positive change in ourselves, our people, our clients, and the community in which we live. We therefore utilize all our combined talent that God has gifted us to make sure that we passionately work to make the society better each day. At this juncture, I would like to take this opportunity to share our experience of practicing corporate governance, some of the principles at Grant Thornton, Uganda. Grant Thornton, as many of you know, opened their Kampala office in Uganda, Kampala office in 2006 with 2 people only. But today we boast an organization of over 100 people and over 300 clients. This growth is not by accident, but by following the guidance, the tools and the strategies provided by our global organization, Grant Thornton International. As part of the strategy Ambition 2015, we were provided with a tool called Gap Analysis, containing 272 standards that ideal Grant Thornton firm should have. This has helped us to benchmark the status of our firm against each standard and continuously working in those gaps that we identified to bridge them, and monitoring the progress has indeed helped us to bring the Grant Thornton where it is now. And the journey continues towards its betterment each day. Let me give you a snapshot of few of these standards that we have practiced. When Professor Balunya, when speaking, he said 95% of our organization in Uganda are unorganized, means smaller organizations. But as I said, whether organization is of 2 members, medium, large, whether public sector or private, the governance principle do apply. So, first, establishing robust leadership with governance structure. We build our capabilities of our people and empower them. This is why our annual strategy involved a bigger team rather than just partners. This instills a sense of responsibilities and the ownership among our people. We further went ahead to establish a strategic leadership board responsible for the implementation of each of these strategic objectives. Within each strategy, a sponsor, a champion, an ambassador model is put in place to remain on the track. This inclusive approach has helped build leaders from an early stage. Second, managing the firm's leadership succession. It is important to identify and develop the next generation leaders in the firm. We have always told our people that they are the biggest asset in our organization. Grant Thornton will not die with its current crop of management. Third, incorporate a performance and reward structure. To retain best talent, we had to be competitive in the market. But in addition to monetary incentives, we sought to build our shared values: collaboration, leadership, excellence, agility, responsibility, and most importantly, respect. Quarterly forum presented by our different departments is perfect example of our people demonstrating these values in their day-to-day work life. We have found that our people felt rewarded and happy working with us in such an environment. Fourth, annual business plan which include key non-financial performance indicators. Ladies and gentlemen, with so much focus on the bottom line, companies can easily forget what got them there in first place. We believe clients don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is why we began monitoring our clients' voice, where our clients give their honest feedback in the services that they receive. Likewise, people's voice, where our people can give their feedback on the key criteria, 360-degree evaluation on the performance of our people, and so on. None of these indicators appear in the profit and loss account. but we found that they significantly contribute to the development of the firm. Last but not the least, create an environment of responsible best practice. This is essentially the pride of Grant Thornton. You'll be happy to know that every year in September, Grant Thornton celebrates a CSR Day under the banner of Growing Together with Community across the globe. This year's CSR Day is announced on 13th and 14th of September. Our corporate social responsibility has grown with us over the years to the extent that we have incorporated a separate entity called Grant Thornton CSR Limited, which takes care of our all CSR projects. Today, we have over 60 ambassadors within our firm, known as CSR ambassadors, and they are ready to invest their time in these activities. We currently run our projects in health, in education, and the training to build the capacities. Madam Speaker, by the time we managed to improve our scorecard, our global organization came up with a new strategy called Growing Together 2020. And I would like all of us to watch this short video explaining our strategy. I hope the strategy will speak as well. Okay, in absence of voice, maybe. Okay.
Leaders who create working environments where we can all flourish. We want our people to be themselves, to make a difference, to learn and grow together. Every Grant Thornton leader will create a working environment that inspires, motivates, and helps us to fulfill our potential, so that our people love working at Grant Thornton. People are our lifeblood, and clients are our lifeblood. We will win the most exciting clients and give them an exceptional client experience. We will discover what's important to them and make it important to us. And we want them to tell everyone how much they love working with us and how much we've helped them grow. That'll make us the #1 global business advisor to dynamic organizations. Together, we can achieve that. In this changing world, we will build infrastructure, technology and tools that connect us, and capability that enables us. Together, we are stronger. With innovation like this, we will seize opportunities and deliver exceptional client service wherever and whenever our clients need us. In our markets and with our communities, we will build a growth ecosystem, collaborating with our clients, other business organizations, governments and the communities in which we live, to become the voice of dynamic organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, we care about the work we do for our clients, the impact we have on society, and the way we treat people. Growing Together 2020 is about unlocking the potential for growth in you, your clients, and your community. Growing Together 2020. Our strategy, your strategy. Seize the opportunity and be part of it. This is our time.
This is our time. I thank you for watching and paying attention. Ladies and gentlemen, many organizations do have such strategies, but the key is to create the awareness and most importantly, its implementation. This is where at Grant Thornton we have implemented, but it's a continuous process. Each day we get better. At this juncture, I must thank our own Institute of Corporate Governance, the President, CEO, Council member, and the members of various committees for allowing us to partner with the Institute on this inaugural event and their tireless work throughout the journey of this event. I would like to thank my Grant Thornton family. Mr. Simon Law, you were fabulous when you spoke. Gernot Habistret, the one who used to encourage us always, but he is not here with us. Jai Ramesh, our leader of Africa. Mr. Kamal Shah and his partners from Kenya. And my own partner, Jasmine Shah, an architect of this ICGU partnership. And my caring and loving Grant Thornton Uganda family. We also would like to thank Mustafa Mugisa of Samit Consulting, because had he not taken this a task, Grant Thornton, I don't know whether we would have found a right partner like him. Thank you, Mustafa. I also would like to thank the panel of judges for their significant independent contribution to the success of this event. Finally, I wish to leave with you a statement by Mahatma Gandhi, the world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. In the name of Almighty God, I thank you all and wish you a joyful evening.
What a great man, what a kind heart, what a leader and believer in corporate governance. I believe he deserves another round of applause.
I would also like to kindly thank our proud sponsors, Grant Thornton.
And all your partners who have come into the country to witness this event, we thank you so much. When I heard that he offered an open check for this event to take place,
Say what now?
it was an open check. I was wondering what I would do with that open check if I did not have my corporate governance principles engendered in me.
Yes, so mine have not yet been activated. Could I have that check, please? I'll practice later. Well, now let's get straight back into the awards, shall we? No, we're moving on to the next category, which is insurance companies. Now, these are both life and non-life insurance companies.
And the nominees are Alliance Africa General Insurance Limited, Britam Insurance Company Uganda Limited, NIC Holdings Limited, the Jubilee Insurance Company of Uganda Limited, and finally, UAP Old Mutual Insurance Uganda.
For our top 3 companies of the night, we have And tonight, to read out who the runner-up for the night for the insurance companies, that is the Corporate Governance Award 2018, I would like to invite Mr. Anil Patel, who is a managing partner of Grant Thornton, Uganda. A round of applause for him.
This is a bit easier. And the runner-up insurance companies is Britam Insurance Company Uganda Limited.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Britam Insurance Company, who is the runners-up for tonight in the Corporate Governance Awards 2018 in the category of insurance companies. Please allow him to pass. There we go. Congratulations to Britam Insurance.
Congratulations once again. And to award the winner for Top Insurance Company, ladies and gentlemen, allow me welcome back and warmly welcome back together with me, Mr. Simon Lowe, who's the chairman, Grant Thornton Governance Institute in the UK.
The winner for the Insurance Companies Award is the Jubilee Insurance Company of Uganda Limited.
Jubilee Insurance Company of Uganda Limited, congratulations to you. Ensuring that his team is with him.
Congratulations once again. Our next category of award goes to the best banks and MDIs. And
those are the microfinance deposit-taking institutions offering banking services in Uganda, and the nominees are Bank of Africa, Bank of Baroda, Centenary Bank, Diamond Trust Bank, Housing Finance Bank, and Stanbic Bank, Uganda Limited. Our top 3 banks are This award is very special to me, especially because you handle my money. You had better be practicing corporate governance. Yes, it is not a joking subject.
And you have bank accounts in all those banks?
Sorry?
And you have bank accounts in all those banks?
All right. Moving on swiftly. I'd like to read out the winner for the runner-up for the Banks and MDIs Award tonight. Please welcome Mr. Jasmine Shah, a managing partner at Grant Thornton, Uganda.
Legendary beat. Legendary beat. Legendary beat. Legendary beat.
Good evening, everyone. They have made it very difficult to open, but I think I'll succeed. So runner-up in the category of banks and MDIs is, any guesses? It is Stanbic Bank Uganda Limited.
Congratulations to Stanbic Bank Uganda Limited, who have emerged runners-up for the Corporate Governance Award in the category of banks and MDIs. And the team from Stanbic Bank is walking fast across. These are very big people in the company. Hey, thank you for gracing the event. Congratulations to the entire team of Stanbic Bank.
To receive their award is the Managing Director, Mr. Patrick Muhiri. Congratulations.
The CE himself is in the building. Congratulations to Stanbic Bank.
Okay, and to award the winner for the banks and MDIs category, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Governor Emeritus Leo Chibirango.
Hey, everybody. What we normally forget is the presence of the Lord in our midst. Anything you win, and the best practice in corporate governance is the presence of the Lord. So can we recognize the presence of the Lord? This is for the winners, the winners of the Banks Award. As I open, normally they open for me. Madam Speaker, they just like they opened for you. Yeah, right. The banks and MDIs winners, Centenary Bank.
Big round of applause to Centenary Bank. Who are the winners tonight for the category of Banks and MDIs for the Corporate Governance Awards 2018? Could we have a team or representative from Centenary Bank race here and get your award? There we go. The Governor Emeritus enjoying the night.
Thank you very much. Thank you, DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category is the Public Sector Enterprises Award. And out of the many entries we received, we came up with 5 nominees, and the nominees are
ERA, that's Electricity Regulatory Authority. Microfinance Support Center. NSSF, National Social Security Fund. UDB, Uganda Development Bank Limited. URSB, Uganda Registration Services Bureau. And out of the 5, we have a top 3. Allow us to invite to the stage to give out the award for the runners-up for the Public Sector Enterprises category, Mr. J. Ramesh, the Global Head of Africa, Grant Thornton. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, everybody said that they were struggling to open this. I was not convinced, and yes, I'm convinced now it's not that easy. It's quite well sealed. And the runner-up in the Public Sector Enterprises category is Electricity Regulatory Authority.
Congratulations to the Electricity Regulatory Authority, that's ERA. Do we have representatives from the Electricity Regulatory Authority? Fantastic. Welcome to the stage and a congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Ramesh.
And to announce the winner of the Best Public Sector Enterprise for the inaugural ICG Awards 2018, allow me to invite Mr. Joseph Balidawa. He is the president of the Institute of Corporate Governance, Uganda. You're very welcome.
Corporate Governance Awards, Public Sector Enterprises, the winner is I hope Any guesses? Public Sector Enterprises winner, National Social Security Fund.
Congratulations to NSSF, that's the National Social Security Fund, who are the winners for the Public Sector Enterprises category for the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards tonight. Congratulations to the entire NSSF team who are the winners of tonight. Yes, a little bit of a dance to show. Ah, whoa, kona, kona.
And that's another award in the bag that NSSF has bagged so many years and so many times. Congratulations once again. We will invite at this point in time the president of ICGU, Institute of Corporate Governance Uganda, to make his speech. However, there is one small requirement.
Well, in case you're wondering, all these winners tonight, what do they go away with? Well, the IGU Excellence in CG, that's in Corporate Governance Award, which is proudly sponsored by the Grant Thornton, is a priceless possession in itself. Number one of its kind, and you can always have the bragging rights of saying, we were the first. And you can have it in your office, and everyone who walks in will respect you because they will know that you are definitely someone of a high grade. Sindio, Mr. President, thank you so much.
What a day, what a moment, what an evening. Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, I don't know, I don't have words to express my gratitude, my happiness, but don't worry, we shall sort that out when we're at home. I think we have one of our members who is a judge of the High Court, who should be around. Your Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions, honorable members of Parliament, my sister, the IGG, was supposed to be here. I think she got stuck in the jam. The Auditor General, Mrs. Keto Kayemba, is here in that name. And she is also the chairman of the judges. The governor was represented, as you saw. We have a number of vice chancellors. I saw one from Uganda Christian University. Of course, our keynote speaker, and so many others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in your respective capacities, you've heard my name. Some people wonder, and others have been asking, is it because you've got gray hair that you're the president? We had you retired from PwC. What are you doing? You can now see what I'm doing. On behalf of the governing council, that was wise to elect me as their president for the second term. And on my own behalf, I would like to welcome you most heartily and to thank you for accepting our invitation to this inaugural awards corporate governance ceremony. Right, Honorable Speaker, this event marks a very, very important milestone in our journey of the corporate governance agenda in Uganda. As you may be aware, this journey was started by government in 1998 with the formation of the Institute to promote corporate governance excellence in the newly privatized companies. Let me, however, state from the outset that corporate governance is not about private sector as it was originally perceived. Corporate governance goes even to family-run companies. It touches across the board, public, private, individually owned companies. Corporate governance must be embraced. It is about promoting corporate fairness, transparency, accountability. We've heard a lot about corporate governance this evening. I don't want to labor you with what corporate governance is, and it is something that should be at the at your heart as captains of industry, as leaders of service agents, government agencies, NGOs, and so on. And as you've seen, the competition was not about private companies only. You've seen NGOs, parastatals, banks, insurance companies, name it. ICG was incorporated as a not-for-profit member-based company limited by guarantee. Government was then contracted the Commonwealth Institute of Corporate Governance through a World Bank funding facility that had been given to privatization unit of the Ministry of Finance to train a selected number of executives. The Commonwealth Institute also trained a core team of trainers to expand training in corporate governance. You may recall that at that time, 1999, 2000, not a lot was known about corporate governance. So through the wisdom of the Commonwealth heads of state, they decided that they must have corporate governance institutes set up, and they train people who manage these organizations. Government also, through that same facility, funded the privatization unit, and the first CEO, who is amidst us here, Mr. Freedom Vincent Kaheru, and a small secretariat to coordinate training activities of the institute. However, at the expiry of the facility, Right Honorable Speaker, government put their hands up and they left the institute an orphan. They left it to individual members to run it. And for several years, the institute was unable even to pay salaries of the CEO and the skeleton staff. Eventually, our CEO had to resign. We owed him a lot of money because he was literally starving. It was a very sad affair. At one of those memorable council sittings, a veteran banker, a renowned Rotarian by the names of Samuel Wari, may his soul rest in peace, volunteered to become the CEO of the Institute on a pro bono basis. Right Honorable Speaker, the family of late Sam was introduced in your absence, but I think they are still here. Are they? And I would like Madam Nora Owori and the family to stand up for recognition by the Right Honorable Speaker, because that man was a great man and did us proud. He served the Institute on a pro bono basis. And what did he do? He rolled up his sleeves. He joined the ICG few consultants that had been trained. He delivered many trainings and consultancies to boards of many organizations. He fostered and maintained a very good rapport with Bank of Uganda. And Bank of Uganda came to our rescue and was able to give us some financial support. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we were able to pay our first CEO the arrears of his salary. Mr. Kaheru, we don't owe you anything, do we? Thanks to Bank of Uganda. The governor was supposed to be here. He had confirmed to me last Friday that he would be here. Unfortunately, due to unavoidable circumstances, he has not been able to come. But he is the key supporter and partner of the Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Professor Tumusime Mutebere deserves a big round of applause for supporting the Institute and for ensuring that it has existed to date. Having been unsuccessful for several years in persuading government to support legislation to enforce corporate governance through the Institute, Right Honorable Speaker, we have approached your most experienced member of Parliament to work with you, to persuade you, to help us, to support us, to legislate for corporate governance. You've had so many stories, Right Honorable Speaker, about corporate failures, corporate scandals. I don't want to repeat them. There are so many. They are countless. And do you know what? The rest of the world, even the Western world, have gone the legislative way to ensure corporate governance. You heard you were not here when Simon Lowe from London was telling us corporate failures in the neighborhood in the UK where he lives. But if you read the stories now, most of governments are either putting in place codes or laws to govern corporate governance. And we pray and believe that this member, I don't know whether I should talk about her right now. With your permission, Madam. She has given me permission. Right Honorable Cecilia Atim Ogwal is going to support this institute in that direction. And please put your hands together for her accepting to do that. If you know the history of Right Honorable Atim Ogwal, you know that she is the right person to do this. She has a lot of history behind, right from her school days, university days, when she was almost being denied the course she loved the most, Bachelor of Commerce in Nairobi, being told that this is for men only. And she said, no, I have the brains to do it. And she did it. Congratulations. And she has been leading our initiative at Parliament. The Institute has provided some consultants to the Parliamentary Commission, which you are responsible for, Madam Cecilia Ogwal. Thank you very much for that support. And we hope with your sweet tongue, you'll get the Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, to mobilize members of Parliament to support our bill. We have not just spoken. We've done homework, we've researched, we've drafted something already. So I'm not here talking empty words. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me at this juncture to introduce to you members of my council that have worked tirelessly with me to steer the Institute to struggle to the day, and to let you know how we got into this, into tonight's event. We have corporate members on the council, and we have individual members. These members are elected transparently every 3 years at an annual at a general meeting. They stand for election, they campaign, they satisfy the requirements for election to the council, and they're elected. Bank of Uganda is one of them. Stanbic Bank, Housing Finance Bank, Deloitte, Uganda National Roads Authority. Those are the corporate members that won elections last year in May to come on council. Bank of Uganda is represented by a very powerful person seated right behind you, the bank secretary, Susan. Can you please stand up, Susan, for recognition? I hope she briefs the governor every time we have a council meeting. Sometimes she travels too much, but we always track her down to come to the council meetings. Stanbic Bank is also represented by, until recently, a very powerful lady. I don't know she's called Mrs. Kawoya, but I understand they have changed it to a man. I don't know why. Housing Finance Bank is represented by a powerful lady by the names of Dorothy Kiyaga. There she is, very powerful. And if she walks here, you'll see the strength of a lady. Deloitte is represented by, where is the Deloitte representative? Okay, maybe he has not made it. He's a gentleman at the name of Joseph. My namesake, yes. Uganda National Roads Authority is also represented by another lady. Is she here? No. Okay. Then we have the individual members. If I read your name, you stand up and wave to the Right Honorable Speaker. I saw Mike Mugabe somewhere. There he is. He's Executive Director of Housing Finance Bank, but he is a member in his individual capacity on the council. He campaigns a lot when it comes to elections. And he manages to convince members to elect him. But I have issues with him. Mr. Mustafa Mgisha, our secretary, is behind there. Regis Namudu, Director, Leadership Institute, Makerere Business School. Another powerful lady. Where is she? She's somewhere there. Professor, thank you for mentoring that lady. She's doing a good job. And then our CEO, who has been, up to now, she is actually holding 2 positions, but we're going to help her. Christine Kawoya has been my vice president until the next council meeting when we shall elect another vice president, because she's now the CEO. Where's Christine? You are right there. You should be here with the Right Honorable Speaker. And then, guess what? That guy who we have been clapping for the whole night for giving us an open check, Anil Patel, is a member of council. In his own individual capacity, not as Grant Thornton. The 11th member is yours truly, Joseph Balidawa. It is this council, Right Honorable Speaker, that motivated Mr. Anil Patel, him, in his usual generous spirit, to come and say, this is one of our strategic intents. I will come and sponsor the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards He declared that in last year's AGM. And he didn't stop there. He wrote a letter to confirm that. And not only did he confirm, he said it will be going to be an annual event. Anil Patel invited his colleagues from the global network just to confirm to us that he was serious. And the CEO and myself met them in Fang Fang Hotel. We were impressed. One of them is Africa, the regional Africa leader. Where is he? Oh, okay. He's gone for. Here he comes. Can you come and shake hands with Right Honorable Speaker? He's all the way from Botswana. He's the regional leader for Africa of Grant Thornton. And he came to give me assurance that what Anil Patel said is going to be done because he has got global support. Thank you very much. Anil has been thanked so many times. I don't want again to get your team up. But as president, my excitement cannot stop me from asking all staff, all partners, directors, staff of Grant Thornton to stand up for recognition. Please be upstanding. All of you, wherever you are, look at them, even at the back. They've come to support this event. Thank you very much, Anil Patel, for your leadership. Thank you, Jasmine Shah, for supporting Anil. For a long time, we took away Anil from the office, and you ran the office without him. Thank you for that support. Let me now quickly say a word of thanks to the organizers, those who supported ICGU and Grant Thornton. The Secretariat, I know the CEO has already thanked them, but the Secretariat should be thanked with their CEO, Christine. Thank you very much with your team for working very closely and for chairing the committee that was introduced here. Summit has been thanked. Summit, thank you very much for banning midnight fuel. You know, I was having a short word with the Right Honorable Speaker, and he wondered to the extent to which we went to get these people who got trophies here to be announced as winners. There was a very long questionnaire. No wonder some potential people dropped off along the way because they could not provide all that information. And the summit had to go back to those organizations to verify. It's like a mini audit. Show me the minutes. You tell me that you hold meetings. For the last 2 years, show me the minutes of your meetings. Show me the financial statements. Show me the board resolutions you passed. Show me the committees that you have that run this organization. And all, I mean, I can go on and on and on, but the process was so comprehensive. And then, what did he do? He brings all this massive information to the intelligent heads of the panel of judges that you saw here, headed by the Assistant Auditor General. Now, I have to repeat my recognition of this panel of judges, led by or chaired by, and they themselves held the elections I did not impose on them a chairman or a chairperson. I brought them in one room and I said, now, you elect your chairman and you can go and do your work. They elected Mrs. Keto Kayemba. Mrs. Keto Kayemba, I'm so grateful for accepting to lead these ladies and gentlemen. And these were, I'll repeat their names. Mrs. Miriam Magala, please be upstanding. I should have, your chairman will stand last. His Excellency Amin Mawigi, the diplomatic representative of the Aga Khan network. Can you imagine accepting to be on the panel of judges? He is passionate about corporate governance. He has practiced corporate governance in the UK. He's an author. He's an expert. And I'm sure the guidance he gave to the panel of judges was invaluable. Dr. Protasio Begumisa, the president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants, was another member. He's a commissioner of Uganda Revenue Authority. Unfortunately, he traveled. He couldn't be with us. We had Jim Mugunga, the senior public relations officer of the Ministry of Finance. And he came on the panel because of the history we had with the PU and the knowledge he had of the ICGU formation. Francis Jimara is the outgoing president of Uganda Law Society. Is another one who accepted the challenge to be on the panel, which was headed by Mrs. Keto Kayemba. You can stand up for recognition. You found her giving her speech here, which was so full of knowledge and in fact, when someone was telling corporate governance about private sector, I told them, you talk to Mrs. Keto Kayemba, she will tell you what it is in the public sector. Let me now salute the CEOs of the nominee organizations for being brave and courageous. Why? Because you literally unaddressed your institutions to the consultant to see what you were like. Those that did not want to be unaddressed fell off, they dropped off the line. So whoever agreed to participate must consider themselves winners. And there were 45 of them. I have decided, together with my colleagues, to give them certificate of participation. Each of them have signed a certificate which is going to be laminated, whether they were winners or not, to show that they subjected themselves to scrutiny by our consultants. Let me also thank our keynote speaker, who has not spoken just for the first time. He has come so many times to speak to us about corporate governance. He's got a passion for corporate governance, Professor Valunywa. And our guest speaker, Simon Lowy, both of them for the insights they have shared with us in corporate governance. I also would like to thank corporate members who have supported the awards event by flying their banners with that of Grant Thornton outside there. If you arrived, Right Honorable Speaker, when you came, you missed out on the colorful banners out there showing who participated. Every banner has passion. I mean, it just, I couldn't believe when I arrived and saw these banners. Those people supported the awards. they could not leave Grant Thornton to fly his banner alone to be called a loner. And we encourage all of you next year to fill this whole place with banners out there, the whole of it, including the parking yard. Our media partners, New Vision Group, supported our mobilization by giving us discounted adverts. And then NTV has supported coverage of this event since yesterday. Thank you very much for your generosity. Our events manager, Arch, there's a guy who has been harassing me the whole day. Derek, this is the leader of the events team that has made what you are seeing here. I'm not advertising for him, but you can see that he has done a great job. Thank you very much, sir. All our service providers, entertainers, our MCs who are talking about corporate governance as if they were experts themselves. And most importantly, to all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen for coming in such large numbers to witness history in the making, the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards 2018. Please clap for yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I have a duty and responsibility this evening to applaud and congratulate all the winners at this historic event, because the comprehensive process that they went through, that was transparent, that was carried out by people of integrity, was no mean achievement. Congratulations to all winners, but let us also commiserate with those who did not make it and encourage them to give up, not to give up, but to try and try and try. You know the motto of that famous school, Gayaza, never give up. And when you never give up, you eventually win. So those who did not win, please don't give up. Just continue working at your corporate governance and you enjoy this stage with those trophies. Those trophies are going to be more and more beautiful as time goes on. We are hopeful that you, with your improvement, you are going to be the winners next time round. Now, allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to appeal to those of you, those organizations that are not members of ICGU. You know, last Friday, I had the privilege, I and the CEO and the Governor Emeritus, to address the CEOs and executive directors of banks. And the governor went around asking them, tell me, those who have not joined, why have you not joined the institute? Why are you not supporting the institute? A lot of them were, those that are not members went quiet. Those that were members were so proud to say why they were members and what they were doing. The likes of Mr. Fabian Kasi, the likes of CBA, where is CBA, Uganda? Dr. Mike Higozi is there, one of the board members. I think management is all seated somewhere there. Yes, can see CBA. And all those that were there. And after that address, I think a number of them committed to signing up. So I'm asking you, tomorrow is Friday, is a working day. Please complete those forms and submit them to the Secretariat if you are not yet a member. And make sure all your directors are members in their individual capacities. And those who have fallen behind in their subscriptions, go to the banks on Monday and make it the transfers. The Institute needs that money to run the affairs of the Institute and develop it further. Right Honorable Speaker, please accept my heartfelt appreciation once again and salutations for your acceptance to preside over this ICG Inaugural Awards 2018. Please, a round of applause for the Right Honorable Speaker. I recall vividly when I hosted you in a place very, very remote in the bush, near the place where they claim that the Basoga murdered Bishop Huntington, somewhere in the bush there. I was amazed. Do you know why she came? She came because of the passion she has for the girl child. My daughter was graduating with a master's degree from Norway, and I invited her. And can you imagine? She drove all the way and came to preside over that graduation. I would like to thank you once again, Right Honorable Speaker, and to hope and believe that the request we have put to you will be taken seriously and we shall achieve results in the shortest possible time. Now, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite, or to request, not to invite, to request Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, who I have already talked about, to come and do the honors to invite our chief guest tonight to address us. I'll wait for you here and hold your hand, Cecilia. Please come to the podium. Thank you very much. And once she has invited the Right Honorable Speaker, she will do a number of things. She's going to give the best award. She will address us. She will give tokens to our judges. She has got a lot of work tonight. As you know, there is no free dinner. Thank you very much for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a different environment. I find it very difficult to make a speech, but I thank you for making my job easy. Right Honorable Speaker, we have talked about corporate governance for a long time, and today you have come face to face with those that make corporate governance work in our country. I want first of all to thank the leadership of the Corporate Governance Institute for the effort that they are putting to make corporate governance something that makes us proud as a country. Very many people know about governance issue. They know about management principles, but we really we have not fully understood that unless we have inculcated that spirit into anybody that holds a leadership position, we would have failed our country and our companies. That is something we still have to inculcate in our people. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to congratulate all those who participated and won. and got the award. And allow me also to congratulate the people who missed out on the award, including you and me. We haven't got the award yet. And we are still hoping that one day, 1 year, give us a couple of years, we'll also be able to get the award. That is as Parliament. Before I introduce your chief guest to you, allow me to say that we have heard your message. We have followed your journey, and we know where you are. You are living on hands out, you are living on charity, and we want to thank those with rich hearts who have made it possible for you to remain functional. And I think we also need to thank people like Mr. Kahero, who worked without any remuneration. They have been able to work professionally without any remuneration. We need to congratulate them. I want to say that I personally have taken a serious note of the government building you up and abandoning you as an orphan. I take it up seriously, and I pray that the Right Honorable Speaker will go back and engage the executive to make sure that something should be done to help the Institute, because the Institute is not helping itself, it's helping us. And I think that's one of the things we are going to take up as a challenge. We can't promise, but we are going to be your lobbyists. We'll try our best. The second thing which I would also want to pledge is that whatever we are trying to do, however well we want to do it, unless we have a legal framework to enforce certain principles to be executed, it will always fail us. So I and the team in Parliament, under the guidance of the Speaker, will do our best to make sure that we help you to come up with that law to regulate corporate governance in Uganda. I haven't given much thought to it, but I think we'll try our best to make sure that we improve on the formation of the bill, and also to engage other people to make sure that we make it richer and more acceptable to the people. Right now, allow me to introduce the chief guest to you. Right Honorable Speaker is not new to many of you who are here. Maybe some of you are foreigners. Even those who are foreigners, you have read about a lady from Uganda called Rebecca Kadaga, who has excelled in all activities, particularly in her participation in foreign forums, whether you talk about Commonwealth Association or the global parliaments. Honorable Rebecca Kadaga has been able to excel in representing the country, and we are extremely proud of her. Right now, she's holding a very, very important post. Maybe she will mention it herself, because I don't know exactly what she does, which is affecting the life of all the people, not only in Africa, but the whole world. That's one of the things which make me very proud to be associating with Right Honorable Kadaga. One thing I've noticed, particularly Stanbic Bank and maybe even other companies that participated today, that you have been very sensitive, at least you have demonstrated that you have been very sensitive in bringing up women in top positions. I'm really very proud of this. And you make me proud, because at the time when I came out in corporate governance, some people thought I was crazy. Many people told my husband, why marry another man women don't do the kind of course he did. But I think today my husband is a very proud man that he actually married a woman, not a man. So I want to say that I'm very proud of what you have done. I've seen so many women who have taken up top positions, not only in the bank, but even in other areas. That has made me and Right Honorable Speaker very proud. That indeed, when we look back, we know that we shall not disappear, because there will be several other women following us. For this, I want to thank you very much indeed. Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga is the kind of person that I would wish people would identify the talent in a person and put that person in the right place. She delayed to come to the top leadership of parliament. And within the first term of 5 years, she came up with very unthinkable innovations. And I know that I'm not trying to say that men have not done well. But I think God is very smart, because God, the Bible tells us, I believe even the Muslims, the Quran also tells us the same thing, that God made Adam and Eve, but Adam was completely stale without Eve. It was when Eve came on the surface that life started on earth. So that shows the dynamism that God has put in women. When Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga stepped on the top leadership of parliament, the first thing I saw was that she became uncomfortable with our space. She initiated the extension of the floor of parliament. She initiated the eviction of other people who are making us squeeze, including President's office. Who on earth would have told President's office, this is not your space, move aside and give us more room? She did that. She was able to evict many ministries from our floors. Those of you who have been to parliament, the Eastern Wing used to be occupied by, I think, the judiciary and other departments and other ministries. But she was able to put her feet down and said, I want to make sure my people are comfortably accommodated within our own house. She made sure there is not a single member of parliament who doesn't have a place where she can sit and write her speeches or do her work. And that is out of her own personal initiative. And we really want to thank God for that. That is just our first term of 5 years. Today, many people are coming to Uganda for benchmarking for two things. One of them is how we came up with the idea of the Budget Act. Because the budget used to be made up by the government Ministry of Finance. They come, they read the budget to us. Then there it is. It's all closed. Parliament had no role. The only role Parliament had was to say, I have it. We did not participate. But now, we use our oversight role to scrutinize, including the Ministry of Finance. And we give you what you deserve to get. And secondly, the government will not step on anyone because that person has not done certain things and therefore want to squeeze you through the budget. We don't allow that. We make sure that every sector of government and departments and the different ministries have got their budgets. And that is assertiveness. We have got it from our Right Honorable Speaker, Rebecca Kadaga. So the Budget Act has been our innovation, which has done us proud. Many countries have now copied it. And one of the things which has also made us proud in that because we want to improve the participation of women in politics,
we have now come up with what we call daycare facilities in Parliament. And I engaged her the other day. I said, please, Lord, let's not limit it to women. Let also men begin to use the facilities. Why am I saying this? I know that there are some men who also experience domestic problems. If your wife walks out of your house and leaves you and leaves you with a 5-month-old child or a 1-year-old child, what do you do with that child? So if you are a man and you're working in Parliament, we are going to say, bring your child, keep your child with us, do your work, and when you are going home, you pick your child and go home. It is only the Parliament of Uganda that has thought of that facilities. So I think we really need to thank our daughter, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. The other thing which I also want to share with you concerning our innovation is to, well, I don't know what to say, maybe forcefully, but she demanded that the leadership of Parliament, 40% must be held by women. You know, the good thing with men know how to love, but they don't know how to dispense love. They know how to love, but they don't know how to dispense it. So here we are, we ended up with an institution of a flood of men, a few women, and they want to capture all the leadership position. So Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga said, I know that the Constitution talks of 30%, but for the purpose of leadership in Parliament, and because the men are still more than us, we want to reserve 40% for women. So today you have women, chairmen of sessional committees, standing committees, and other leadership positions in Parliament. But we make sure that 40% are represented by women. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for that. And finally, today when you walk around Parliament, you see a huge construction going on. That is the latest innovation. And I'm sure many people write a lot of books about Rebecca Kadaga. But one of the things that I will never forget is that new wing of Parliament we are constructing, which is going to accommodate over 500 members of Parliament. And that is something which is, it will help us a lot for a couple of years to come. So Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, I thank God that today is an opportunity I have shared with the people of Uganda what you have done within the few years you have been in Parliament. And I know the many years still left before you are likely to come up with more innovation, which I cannot predict. Some of them I know, but I don't want to share now. So may God bless you so much. I'm very happy to be with you. And with these few words, I would like to invite Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, to come and address the gathering.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ogwal. Friends, representative of the Governor of the Bank of Uganda, to whom we are really grateful for the corporate social responsibility relating to the Institute of Corporate and the ICGU, heads of institutions and corporations, development partners, distinguished guests. I'm really happy to be here today to associate with the Institute of Corporate Governance
because Parliament has benefited quite a bit from their support, their training, their collaboration. So I felt really obliged to come and be with them on this very, very important day of the inaugural award ceremony. Thank you so, so much. And before I go there, I was just sitting there reminding myself that in 1971, there was a coup in this country, and at the stroke of a pen, President Idi Amin arrested and held hostage the corporations of this country. For a number of years, there was no corporate governance, and until the 1990s, when the NRM government came. But even then, as you have been told, it was carried for a short time, and then it was abandoned. That's because of those years of imprisonment and being hostage. So I want to really thank you, Bank of Uganda, for breathing a new lease of life into the ICGU. Now, I listened to Mr. Vadidawa. He reminded me about our first meeting, and I wanted just to say that he was talking about a village called Chando in Mayuge, where on the 29th of October 1885, the Basoga people, on the instruction of the Kabaka of Buganda, murdered Bishop Hannington and 67 other people who are traveling with him from Mombasa, heading to Kampala. So I take this opportunity to invite you to come to Chando on the 29th of October this year. I've given you adequate notice. You have no excuses. We should see you in Chando in October, or the 29th of October this year. Thank you, Grant Thornton, for sponsoring and really coming with a big presence to this function. You have setting the pace, setting the standards, and you have set the goals to which we would all like to aspire. Congratulations. Now, Mr. Validawa talked about legislation that they want. I want to just be very sincere. Government is not good at legislation. Perhaps I must say legislation is selective. There are many areas sometimes which we identify as needing legislation, but that's the bureaucracy. Just making one law takes about 2 years. You know, first they discuss the concept, then they draft the principles, then they're debated in the cabinet, then they go back to the first parliamentary council, then they go for printing, then for first reading. Oh my God. A law takes 2 years in this country, at a minimum. So I welcome the request to Honorable Gwal to, I think, facilitate a private member's bill so that, because this is not one of, unless it's coming in the State of the Nation, I've not heard the government talk about corporate governance. I don't think it is in their plans. So I think we might want to work with Honorable Gwal to bring a motion, and I want to say that I will support her and give her time on the order paper. I want to just say that Parliament will work with you to ensure that the standards of good governance are maintained, publicized, and sustained. We've done our part as Parliament in our oversight role. You have had our work in the Public Accounts Committee, the Local Government Accounts Committee, Commission of Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, Government Assurances, and all the others. We are doing what we can to ensure that the standards are maintained and that they are improved. Now, as Mr. Anil was talking about meetings, I was thinking about the new technology. You know, people are talking on Skype, they are talking on technology. So I was saying now, how do we keep those minutes, which are on somebody's phone? How do we keep those minutes? How do you prove that we met? How do you file those minutes? So we need to find new ways of filing those minutes to ensure that they form part of our records. And as I was listening to the discussion, I think we take many things for granted because how many people actually hold meetings? How many people actually issue a notice for a meeting? Maybe it is casual, you just send an SMS to your friend, and then you have a meeting. But I think it's good that ICG is picking this up so that we can wake up to our responsibilities. How many people file annual returns for their companies? How many people report dividends? The other day we were discussing the Committee on Finance, and we were told that there are government corporations that make profits but have never declared dividends. So I asked the Minister of Finance, why do you allow this? How? They are making profits. You are sleeping? So I think that we want to thank ICG for waking us up so that we get back to our duties to ensure that we follow the company law. And we amended it to include so many things which are now part of the public domain. So let me just hope that we shall wake up, and I want to thank the sponsors. I was discussing with Anil, who said he was not sure whether it will be annual because it involves a long process, assessment, evaluation, review, going back and forth. But the important thing is that you have started, and whether it comes after 2 or 3 years, it will come again. And those who have not succeeded will know that they have to do something better in order to get to the top. And those who are at the top want to remain at the top. So they are going to improve on the record keeping, on their minutes, and corporate governance. Thank you very much for listening to me. It's been such a pleasure. And Cecilia, thank you very much for the kind words. Mr. You forgot Cecilia is a beauty queen. Yes. She was Miss Uganda under Brook Bond. The brand was Brook Bond. There's no more Brook Bond now. But there she is. She's still beautiful. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. But we are going to take advantage of this moment and ask you to kindly stay on the stage with us. Yes, of course. Valerie, get my phone quickly. We take a selfie. Hurry, 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 hurry. They think I'm joking. There's a phone on that table, and we take a selfie. But right now we want to give a token of appreciation to the different entities that were part of making these awards happen. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, don't be jealous, huh? Honorable, do you take selfies? No? I teach you? Okay, so this is what happens. So please hold this for me. So now you hold here. Wait. Then you hold there. How many of you can say that Honorable Speaker of Parliament has taken a selfie on your phone? There we go. I'm going to show off. People are dead. Corporate governance happening right now. So we want to give appreciation to the 6 judges who are part of this. But to welcome to the stage, I would like to welcome the president of the ICGU.
Please join us.
Please join us here on stage. You'll be awarding these ladies and gentlemen with the Honorable Speaker. I'll ask you to step there. Starting off with our 6 judges. Ambassador Amina, please join us on the stage. We have Ms. Keto Kayemba, Miriam Magala, Mr. Francis Gimara, Mr. Jim Mugunga, Dr. Protazia Bemugisa. Please do join us on the stage as you receive this token of appreciation from the Institute of Corporate Governance of Uganda.
And you have the tokens of appreciation here?
Yes, it's right here. Being handed over to the Speaker and the President to then hand over to the judges who are part of the deciding process.
Mr. Amin Mauji, congratulations. Smile for the cameras, please. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next token of appreciation goes to Ms. Miriam Magala.
Could we kindly have another usher on the stage?
The next
Thank
token
you.
of appreciation to Ms. Kato Kayemba. The next token of appreciation goes to
Mr. Francis Gimar.
Good job. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much to all the judges. Could we have one group pictures? Cindio, could you move to the front a little bit?
Just
Yes.
closer here,
Right
please.
there?
That line.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, you might join them in the
Could
middle.
maybe the speaker could be in the middle with the president. There we go.
That's it.
Next up, receiving a token of appreciation.
The sponsor.
Yes, Grant Thornton. Thank you so much for proudly sponsoring this event, and would like to welcome to the stage the different representatives from Grant Thornton, from the managing partners to the partner.
From our guests, Grant
Mr.
Thornton,
J,
UK.
Mr.
Please join
Anil
us.
Patel, Mr. Jasmine, Mr. Simon Law. Oh, you're receiving a different one, but you can still also be part of this. Could we have all the Grant Thornton staff on the stage kindly, because you are the sponsor, so each and every single one of you can be part of this image, including Mrs. Patel, that's Mr. Anil Patel's wife. You're part of the team. Without you, he would not be here. So please do join us on the stage. Hold on, there's one person who's joining us. Mrs. Patel is joining us on the stage, looking beautiful. Please join your husband. The entire team of Grant Thornton. Bumi, I don't see you.
Where is Bumi?
We'd like to invite a representative for the Governor Bank of Uganda and Bank of Uganda staff as well present. Ms. Susan Kanyemibwa, the Secretary of Bank of Uganda, please join us.
All right, so we have a... Right, we have our representative from Bank of Uganda. The tokens of appreciation coming in from the Institute of the Corporate Governance of Uganda. Next up, we're saying a big thank you to the keynote addresses of the day, starting off with Mr. Simon Lowe, who is the chairperson, Grant Thornton Governance Institute, the UK.
The UK.
The DJ, please proceed. Mr. Balunywa. right, the next award we have is for Professor Waswa Balunywa, but he's being represented by Professor Vincent Bagir.
We'd like to invite Summit, our team, Mr. Mustafa, please join us, and the entire staff
of Summit Consultant. Could we have Mr. Mustafa please join from Summit? Come and receive your token of appreciation. There he is with your team, Paul and everyone. Please do come on the stage.
Bagmusic.com.
Thank you for the good job and your efforts towards ensuring the success
We
of
do
the
have
inaugural ICGU Awards 2018.
We do have a surprise one, the very last one for the night. Could I kindly ask the president to kindly step right here? There we go. Could I have the award handed over to the president? This token of appreciation is being handed over to the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. You've been giving, it's time for you to receive. Thank you so much. What a surprise. Thank you for honoring your invitation and being the guest of honor for the night and being part of the inaugural Corporate Governance Awards 2018.
Well, finally, we have one final award to give away tonight, and that is for the overall winner of the ICGU Awards 2018. And this award goes to...
We're going to ask the Right Honorable This is the big one. It is the overall winner.
Oh no. Do you know who this is? I'm delighted to announce my bank, Centenary Bank.
Congratulations to Centenary Bank, the overall winners of the night. There we go. When the speaker dances, we do what? We dance. Congratulations to Centenary Bank, the overall winners of the night, clearly being the heads and the headliners for corporate governance in all the institutions and organizations that participated this year. Congratulations to you. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Centenary Bank. Appreciate it. Oh, there we go. Oh, Kona. Dig it up. Thank you so much. As we wrap up the evening, we only have one more thing to invite
Mr. Leo Chivirango, the President Emeritus, ICGU. A quick vote of thanks, and we'll call it a night.
Mr. Leo Chivirango is coming to give us a vote of thanks. Thank you so much, sir.